I always wonder who woke me up so damn early, but it's my own choice. Do it by choice. No one's forcing me to do it. I just feel like I get a lot more done during the day when I wake up earlier and just get my day started early in the morning. So I've made it a habit, even though I honestly don't have to wake up this early. I could wake up at like 12 p.m. if I really wanted to, but we don't do that. We gotta be productive. You only have so much time in a day, and you might as well make the most out of it. Starting the day the only way I know how. High volume, some alphamine, shift, and amino IV. So I never really go over this because I just assume you guys know, but I probably shouldn't assume that. Alphamine is a fat burner. It does have a little bit of caffeine, so it gives you an extra energy boost as well. This one is the cotton candy flavor. It's definitely my favorite, along with the raspberry lemonade. Then we have high volume, which is a pump enhancer. It has no stimulants, so it's fine to pair up with the alphamine. And my favorite flavor is the cotton candy as well. And then I also have the paradise cooler, which I do like a lot. We also have shift, which is a leaning agent, is stimulant free as well, so it's fine to pair up with the high volume and the alphamine. And we have amino IV, which is just basically BCAAs. I usually sip on these during my cardio or during my workout or throughout the day, especially when I'm feeling hungry and I have cravings. It keeps me off drinking too much Diet Coke, and I'd rather drink aminos over Diet Coke, to be honest, just because I feel like it's a lot healthier. Just a little reminder that supplements aren't a necessity. It's not something that you need to see progress. They're just gonna help you see better progress. That's all. They're just an aid, basically. It's nothing that you can solely rely on to see progress. Unless you're doing the work, it's not gonna work. So keep that in mind. But if you guys do want to try P Science products, make sure to head over to pscience.com and use my code Valentina at checkout to get 30% off. This is kind of cool because it feels like you guys are sitting on the couch with me. And so now that I look a little bit more presentable, we're gonna get into an awesome food recipe idea that came into my head while I was training. That's what usually happens when I train. I just kind of think of what can I come up with for breakfast today. So as you guys saw in my previous video, I got a P28 shipment in. So today I want to use their flatbread to make cinnamon French toast strips, I'm going to call them. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Obviously I haven't tried it before. You guys know me. But I think it's going to be pretty good. So I'm excited to give that a try. Time for the taste test, so let's see how I did. They're good, like really good. The only issue I'm having is that they're so cold because 1, I have to film everything for you guys. 2, have to take a picture for the gram. 3, I don't know what 3 is, but I like them. And before you guys go and get any crazy ideas, I just want to clarify that this is not going to be a full day of eating video. I will show you guys 2 recipes that I think you guys are really going to like, so I think you might want to stay tuned. And then I also want to share some advice with you guys and basically just whatever the day has to offer. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Sometimes I tend to forget how new flexible dieting is to a lot of people, and I did get some workout footage today, so I'm gonna let that play over while I talk to you guys about some flexible dieting and what kind of food choices you should be making, whether you are on prep or if you're just following and trying to achieve some lifestyle goals. So with flexible dieting, we all know that you do have the option to have more flexibility with your food options, but that doesn't mean that it's all Pop-Tarts and cereal and chocolate and ice cream or whatever people are having nowadays, or whatever I'm having nowadays. But with flexible dieting, my rule of thumb is usually to make sure that you're getting all your micronutrients in, your vitamins, your minerals, your fiber, everything like that. Once you've hit those goals, then you can go ahead and be a little bit more flexible with what you're eating. The beauty of flexible dieting is basically being able to satisfy those cravings with having some balance in your diet rather than just being super restrictive and only sticking to a certain meal plan and following that for a certain amount of time. So when it comes to prep with me, I don't usually restrict myself from any kind of foods unless they upset my stomach. That's the only thing. There honestly is no food that's gonna make you magically shredded. It all comes down to being in a caloric deficit. The food choices that you are making do relate a lot to what your final goal is. Obviously, if you're trying to cut down and you are in a big deficit, you're gonna wanna stick to whole foods. Why? Because whole foods tend to have less calories. They tend to be more filling, more nutritious, obviously, so you're going to be able to hit your micronutrients. If you're in a deficit and your goal is to cut down, then obviously you're going to want to stick to those kind of foods because you can't really compare a cup of normal cereal, like let's say Cheerios, to a cup of Kamut Puffs. Like, I think a cup of Kamut Puffs has like 11 grams of carbs, where a cup of Cheerios has like 30 grams of carbs. So you're gonna want to stick to things that are more filling, that keep you satisfied longer, because if you're satisfied, then that's gonna prevent you from overeating or cheating on your diet. So like I said, it all comes down to your final goal. If you are someone who doesn't have the best appetite, then first of all, I'm super jealous because I wish. But if you are someone who doesn't have the best appetite, then you can obviously stick to more caloric dense foods. But for most people, when they are dieting, they do feel very hungry. So it's smarter to go with foods that are more wholesome and just more filling in general. That being said, if it does come down to a day where you feel like you're just gonna go off diet and you're really craving something, then just have it. That's the beauty of flexible dieting, that if you are craving something that bad, then you can just have it. You might have to sacrifice some volume for whatever you're craving, but at the end of the day, it's all about having balance and not restricting yourself. That's like the main purpose of flexible dieting. So keep that in mind. If you are following a flexible dieting approach, it doesn't have to be restrictive. You don't have to stick to 100% clean foods. If you want to, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't, then you can go ahead and have that balance and that flexibility. When it comes to prep, like I said, I honestly don't restrict too many things. I do try to avoid eating out just because I don't want to be estimating a lot. But you guys have seen me do it a lot, and sometimes it just happens, and that's just life, and you can't really help it. But the thing is, you don't want to make it so hard on yourself and so difficult, because it doesn't have to be. Like, flexible dieting is really, really easy. Some people just choose to make it super hard on themselves, and it doesn't have to be. So make sure that you're hitting those numbers while still enjoying your diet. The biggest issue with us human beings is that we don't know moderation, we don't know serving sizes. So flexible dieting, even though it's a very tedious process and you have to track what you eat and weigh everything you eat, it basically teaches us to have moderation and know how much we should be eating, rather than sitting down and eating the whole bag of chips. You actually eat just one serving. So if you have lifestyle goals, and you're just getting into flexible dieting, pay attention to what you're eating, the portion sizes. That way, later down the road, you don't have to worry about tracking macros and being obsessed with numbers for the rest of your life, but you can actually look at food and be like, okay, this is this much, I should be eating this much. It honestly doesn't have to be super complicated. It is a very easy process. It just basically is what you make it. So I hope this helped you guys. If it did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you guys have any other questions, any other topics that you want me to go over, make sure you leave them down below. You guys were away, something a little bit crazy happened. P Science actually came out with a vegan version of Select Protein, which is a little bit crazy, and I'm kind of mad that this didn't happen when I did my vegan challenge, because I'm sure it tastes a lot better than the Vega protein that I tried that day. I haven't tried it yet. Obviously, I was waiting for you guys to join me so I could share the taste and what I think about it, and just basically my honest opinion with you guys. I definitely don't expect it to taste as good as the whey and casein blend mix, because it's different. It's a complete different protein. The whey and casein is milk based, whereas the vegan protein is pea and rice based. So I'm sure it's a lot better than most vegan proteins, but it's not comparable to the Select Protein. So just keep that in mind if you guys do decide to give it a go. And another thing that I do want to clarify is that you guys don't need to buy protein powder to attain your goals. Protein powder is basically just another way to increase your protein consumption. So if you're not big into eating chicken or fish or constantly having protein meals, then it's just way to increase your protein consumption. Like I said, same with the vegan protein. You guys definitely don't need it, but it's definitely an easier way to get your protein in without having to alter your fat and carb macros. 20 grams of protein in one scoop, and then 6 carb for the chocolate bliss, 0.5 fat, and then the vanilla is just 0 fat, 4 carb, and 20 protein as well. You guys know that I will do whatever I can to save washing dishes. I'm drinking it in the blender glass. Can we call this a glass? I think so. It's actually really freaking good. Especially like this. Oh my god. I wish I was baking this, but I'm not. Like, I actually really genuinely enjoy this. You know, like when you get a present and the person's like watching you, expecting you to just love it? That's how I feel right now. So I feel like everyone's expecting me to like it, but I honestly genuinely do enjoy it. I think it's hell of a lot better than the vegan proteins I've tried before, which actually I have tried a few because I used to work at a health store and we tried the products that we sold. So I have tried a lot of vegan products before, and this is honestly by far the best. Oh my god. I'm honestly... I'm just gonna leave it at that. Hello, it's me. I'm back with more food, another recipe for you guys. I did tell you that I wanted to show you guys 2 recipes today, so we're gonna jump right into the second one. And as you guys know, I did my vegan challenge like I think about a month and a half ago now, something like that, and I'm still trying to eat all the food that I have before I buy new stuff. I've been doing a-okay, not the best at it, but I'm trying. But I still have some tempeh left from the vegan challenge. I never even opened the box yet, so I think it's still good. I hope it's still good. Processed stuff usually lasts quite a while, so I'm gonna pair that up with this recipe, so stay tuned to find out what we're about to make. So I already went ahead and boiled the cauliflower. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is blend it up or throw it in a food processor. I don't have a food processor, so we're gonna use my blender. And the tempeh that I was talking about, it's a marinated tempeh, and it's coconut curry. The macros are 3 fat, 13 carb, 13 protein, and it has 5 grams of fiber, so that's awesome. 130 calories for 6 slices, which is 92 grams. I don't know if I'm gonna have the whole 6 slices, but I'll definitely have at least half a serving, depending on how big they are, so we'll see. I'm guessing all you have to do is pan fry it. Yes, I am right. With the cauliflower is basically adding the Parmesan herb seasoning, the Clubhouse one, herb amare, which is an organic seasoning, and I add some basil on top, and then obviously you need ketchup. I don't know about you guys, but I've always eaten my mashed potatoes with ketchup, not gravy, because we don't do gravy in Colombia. Well, my family never did. And then you basically just get to enjoy. Honestly, I'm kind of obsessed. This mashed cauliflower is so freaking bomb. This one did come out a little bit liquidy, more than I wanted it to, but it still tastes really bomb, and it's an awesome diet hack. And we're gonna find out and see how I like the tempeh. Let's find out. Let's see how this tastes. I'm like tempted to dip it in my cauliflower. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely not the best thing I've ever tasted. Not even close. My mashed cauliflower though, with the ketchup. That makes up for it. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know, I guess I'll dip it in here. I gotta try it. I'm just not feeling it. you guys never thought of that before. I've been so obsessed with fresh blueberries. They have definitely spiced up my life for the past like 2 days, and what I just did with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But with that, I am going to conclude this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I probably have blueberries in my teeth, then make sure you hit that subscribe button before you head out. And if you have any comments for me, anything to tell me, make sure to leave it down below. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next video.